What's up, everybody? It's Justin here at S&K Greenhouse, and today I'm gonna one more time. I'm gonna show you the best way to propagate a hydrangea. So whether it's your grandma, your sister, your brother, or it's just a friend, we all know that person that's got a beautiful blooming hydrangea in their backyard, and quite frankly, you'd like to dig it up. Well, instead of losing that relationship, an easier way is just to clone the plant by taking a simple cutting. We're in the 4th week of August, and late summer is the perfect time to take hydrangea cuttings because the heat and humidity helps the roots to grow. There's also enough time for the hydrangea to get established before the frost comes and causes it to go dormant. You can take cuttings in the spring as well, but just make sure the hydrangea is nice and flushed out like this. First things first, make sure the hydrangea you're taking cuttings from is nice and turgid, and that just means full of water. You don't want to take a cutting from a wilty hydrangea because that's really going to put a lot of stress on the cutting, and it's probably not going to do so well. So the night before, or at least a few hours before, go ahead and give that hydrangea a good soaking, and this will prime it and get it ready to take cuttings. All right, now for the most important part. Near the top of the hydrangea, find a stem that is going from hardwood to softwood. See the color difference there? This is a little bit darker, this is harder wood, and this is a lighter green, which is a softer wood. And right here, just below these two nodes, is where you want to take the actual cutting. And I'm going to go ahead and take a couple more just to make sure you really got it. There's another one. That's what that looks like. And here is one more. Grab this guy here. Here we have our 3 cuttings, and I recommend that you do several. That way you better the odds of having one to actually root. From here, what we're going to do is right at the node where these 2 leaves are coming off, we're going to go ahead and cut those off. And these are where these wounds I just created is where the roots are going to form. And then we want to cut the bottom of the stem at a 45-degree angle. And all that does is give optimal surface area for the roots to come out and develop. So let's do that a couple more times. Cut this off right at the node. Cut this one off and 45 it. There you go. And then we're going to cut again on the 3rd one. 45-degree angle. As we prepare the cutting, the last thing you're going to want to do is cut these leaves, these bigger leaves, in half. We don't want to cut them all the way off because the cutting does need some leaf to help with photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. But you don't want all the energy going to these leaves. You want it to focus on the roots. And on 2 of these cuttings, I'm noticing that there's already like 4 leaves on this thing. So really what we can do to further our chances of root growth is to cut these off as well at the next node. And then leave these on top like so. And now we've doubled our chances at getting some root growth. You're going to have roots forming here and here, and then we still got the 2 leaves on top for photosynthesis. I'm going to do the next cutting the same way since it is a little bit larger cutting. Right here, right here. And then these are already kind of small, so I'm not going to cut too much off. And then boom, there's our cutting. From here, we want to act pretty quickly because we don't want these cuttings to dry out. For this next step, I do have some rooting powder or rooting hormone to help me. Is it absolutely necessary? No, but it will speed up the process. And if you keep watching to the end, I'm going to show you another trick that's going to help speed up the process even more. So I went ahead with this saucer here and I poured some rooting powder in it. You don't want to dip your cuttings directly in the rooting powder because you don't want to contaminate the whole bottle. So just pour out what you think you'll need. You can pick this up for like $5 or $6 on Amazon. So from there, we're going to dip our cuttings where we had cut at the nodes. Just get it good in there. And then we're just going to poke our cuttings down into the soil. So for the soil, I've got a mixture here that's pretty fine. It's got a lot of vermiculite and perlite in it. Usually something all-purpose works just fine. Just don't use a blend of potting soil that has a lot of big chunks of pine bark, because that's not going to hold a lot of moisture. I'm not going to water these from the top. I'm going to use a saucer. And guess what? If you don't have one of these, you can use the top of a coffee lid. Maxwell House, baby. I'm actually a Folgers guy. But anyway, I'm going to use the coffee lid for this demonstration, and you might have to fill it up a couple times, but go ahead and fill up the saucer and give this about 30 minutes. What's going to happen is the soil is going to wick it up from the bottom, and the whole thing will become moist. If it sucks up all this water and it's still dry on top, maybe fill it up again and wait another 20 to 30 minutes. That didn't take too long. I have moist soil now. I just filled it up a couple times. And the key is to keep the soil moist. Do not let it dry completely out. So that may mean you having to mist quite often. And the moment you have all been waiting for, the secret to expedited root growth on your cuttings: a Ziploc bag. Yes, I know this sounds crazy, but what we're going to do with this Ziploc bag is simply place it over the top of our pot. Now, I know this looks crazy, but what this does is helps recycle the moisture. It doesn't let the moisture out. It creates a more humid environment inside the container, and this is all going to help speed up the root growth. Some people use a plastic tote, you know, something larger, a clear plastic tote where you can put the lid on. And if you have a lot of cuttings, that might be the way you want to go. But since I'm just doing a few, I'm going to do it this way. I know this looks silly, but trust me, this is going to really expedite the process. The key is, don't put this setup in direct sunlight. It will just fry the plants. This will be like a magnifying glass. So what you want to do is find a nice shady spot in your yard and place it there, or you can go inside and actually keep this on your windowsill as long as it's receiving bright indirect light. Although this bag is going to help recycle the moisture, you don't want to just set and forget. Check back periodically and make sure everything is staying nice and moist in there. And finally, you just got to have some patience. It's going to take 4 to 6 weeks for these cuttings to actually start rooting in. If you feel like they have and you want to check, give the cuttings a small tug. If they pull right out, you know you didn't get any root growth. But if there's some slight resistance, leave it alone, let it keep growing. And a year later, this is what you're gonna have. Yes, this thing is about a year old. I started it last August from a cutting just like this. I let it go dormant in the wintertime. This spring, it woke up out of dormancy and started growing. And here we are in August, and this thing's put over a foot of growth on. I plan on setting this out in the yard this fall. Admittedly, this is a lengthy project, but since we're at home more anyway, this could be a fun little project for you and your family. On this channel, we do a good bit of garden tutorials, so if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And until next time, become a plant person.